Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Region 3 podcast. I'm your host, Sharon Jasek, FNP, and Region 3 President of the NPA, and I'm delighted to welcome my guest, Priscilla Reese Yancey, EDD, FNP, as a longtime member of the NPA. Priscilla, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Priscilla, tell us about your career as an NP.
I started out as a nurse practitioner in a clinic. I was in a clinic setting, working for someone just earlier. They're just in the city of Syracuse. And I just decided that, and you probably know this, Sharon, but when you first start out as an NP, you don't know exactly what you want to do, but you quickly figure out what you don't want to do. So I was in a clinic and I decided that it wasn't for me. And I went into occupational health for the most part. So for most of my career, I've been at National Grid as an occupational nurse practitioner, and I've been doing it since 2011.
Excellent. Now, how did you become involved with the NPA?
I became involved with the NPA because I feel like as a practitioner, you have to be able to put yourself into places where you're meeting others, you're seeing what their careers look like, you're comparing it to yours. You get lots of good information when you're part of an organization. So I first started out, I was looking to become part of the Black Nurses Association because I figured it would be a good place to start. But I found out quickly that it was hard to organize with them or to go to meetings and things like that. So someone else said, "Did you try the NPA?" And I said, "Well, maybe I'll try that." And I think I became a member of the NPA in 2013. I met a lot of nice people, and it was very interesting. Like I said, you bounce ideas off of like minded people, and the NPA was just the place for me to be at.
Oh, great, great. And we're glad you joined. What benefits have you experienced personally and professionally by joining the NPA?
Some of the benefits that I've enjoyed is, like I said, meeting others and seeing what, part of what field they're in. When I say field, I just mean what aspect of a nurse practitioner, where are they working at, what they're doing.
Mhm.
I've taken a bunch of courses through the NPA, and I've went to a lot of meetings and conventions that were hosted by the NPA, and I've learned a lot since joining and being a part of those conventions.
So you mentioned education and networking as two of the benefits that you've really experienced the most. And have you been able to attend the meetings and the conferences on a regular basis?
I attend meetings on a regular basis. I went, the last conference that I went to was, I want to say, in 2012. No, I'm sorry, not 2012, 2000, was it, I want to say 2018. And
Mhm.
that's just because sometimes the conventions don't work well with my schedule, but they're really nice to do. It's a nice atmosphere, and I highly recommend the conferences.
That's great, great. I'm glad you enjoyed them. And I was wondering about your workplace environment. Are you more attuned to what your benefits are at work and how what you need to take care of your patients? What helps you take care of your patients?
So my patients are very unique in all aspects of what I do because the patients are really workers because in the occupational field. So for me, going back and, like I said, researching and seeing things that I can bring to the table or bring to an occupational type of field and group of people is what I'm always looking for. And with like the NPA, when you're on the website and when you're doing things, you're always researching that, and there's a lot of good information. And if it's not on the site, there's a lot of good direction as to where you can be. So, in addition to being a part of the NPA, I'm also a part of the AANP. And so I get my CEUs and things like that from that aspect of it. But I feel like the NPA is more of it's more of a level type of um, what I want to say is it's more available to me versus the
Mhm.
AANP is more higher up. So I use the NPA as a lot of background research for me. I don't know if that
Great.
answered the question. I think I went all around with that.
That's good though. That's good. The NPA does support us as being for New York State nurse practitioners, so that's how it's different than the AANP. And but they're both great organizations to belong to. And
Absolutely.
do you feel that the NPA helps you with practice resources such as clarification of questions you have in your practice and all the laws and regulations and guidelines that we have to practice within?
Absolutely. Um, there's a lot of questions and answers that you might have, but you can go to the NPA website and get a lot of that. And especially with the Modernization Act, and me practicing in my own clinic and just wanting to make sure that I'm working in a capacity that is, you know, um, conducive to my patients in my practice. And I think the Modernization Act is something that we all need to get involved in and to vote on so that we can continue to have autonomy in our workspace.
Right, because as we know, the NPA has allowed it to be, and the legislation has been passed for 2024 will expire. So we have to really keep working on that so we can make this permanent, so we're as autonomous as we can be. So, in conclusion, I'd like to thank you, Priscilla, for joining us today and everyone for tuning in. Make sure to follow the NPA on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch new episodes. I'm your host, Sharon Jasek, President of Region 3. Bye now.
Take care.
You too.